With you, the arts are such a collaborative medium. When you're cast in this role, you had a lot of honest and open conversations with Nicole about bringing the spirit, soul, and culture of Dandelion to life in ways that she would express herself. How did those conversations influence the character in this film, and how did that trust allow you to take agency over her journey?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and this was before we even started filming, just talking to Nicole, that because these are supposed to be Dandelion songs, like growing up as a songwriter myself is such a personal thing. These things really come out of you in your experience. And so I think the conversations really were centered around the music and the importance that the music really reflected the fact that Dandelion is now a young Black woman. And of course, the Desners are fucking amazing, but they're, two older white men. So there was a disconnect in like what might they pour out of their souls into music versus what Dandelion in this body might pour out. And so I was really grateful that, very early on, we could have those conversations and that Nicole and the Desners really made space for me to pour more of myself into the music. And then from there, everything else just took off with the character.
Beautifully said. And Thomas, there's a point in the film where your character is telling Dandelion about the impactful moment in his career where the audience knew his lyrics and were singing it back to him. What's been that artistic equivalent for you in your own journey?
I was on a I was on a ferry once in Seattle, and now there was a little girl sitting across from me, and she was wearing a t-shirt and it had my face on it. That was probably the closest I could get to that. That was a very surreal experience. And she didn't recognize me, and so I was like, "Do I go off?" And I'm like, "Hi." Was that weird? Um, but yeah, that's probably something like that's probably the closest I can think.
Great
That's
answer.
pretty
And,
cool.
yeah. KiKi, throughout the film, we see Dandelion redefine what success looks like to her, embrace her artistry and her voice. And you brought so much depth to that journey. For you as an artist, how did you create the space for yourself to explore all those different nuances? And did her journey parallel any of your own?
Oh, definitely there were parallels on the journey. And I think that's one of the things that audiences are really resonating with. So many of us carry dreams and, want to see ourselves do certain things in the world. But I think sometimes the world gives very limited views of what success looks like, and I think really that's any career, but certainly, in the arts, it's like if you're not, I don't know, selling a million gazillion records and you don't have, hundreds of millions of followers and like all of these things that can kind of make you feel like what you're contributing is less than. And so that feels very, very real for me. I mean, I actively wrestle with those things, day to day, just trying to create the type of art that I want to create. And while working in this business that doesn't always nurture, artists in their most authentic form. And so yeah, I just used as much of that as I could. Yeah, that's why it's so real for me.
It's so raw and grounded, this performance. And Thomas, you've said that this is one of the most creatively fulfilling projects that you've worked on, and you've done it all throughout your career. What did you learn about your craft embodying this character? And what is it about independent filmmaking that excites you as a creative and a storyteller?
Because everyone wants to just make it. They want to be the next. They want to like have arrived, you know. But I was always like, no, I need to learn. I need to experience different genres of films and different work in the studios and doing. Do you know what I mean? So I was really kind of building up an array of experience that would help me in my craft and as an actor. But doing an independent film, there's just a purity to it. I love theatre. I love the stage. I went to college to do musical theatre, and there's just something about it seems very pure. It feels very honest, and I mean, an independent film, it just has that. You don't have these big studios. You don't have this producer and that producer and the show. Do you know what I mean? It feels very very pure, and with Dandelion and the scale which we did it, and the team that we had on it, it just felt incredibly collaborative, and everyone made space for each other to develop their own characters, and yeah, it was just very kind of special experience as an actor.
Yeah.
Very
And credit
pure.
to
It
the
felt quite pure.
Credit to both of you. Your voices are incredible in this. I hope they release a soundtrack for the film. And this film also does such a brilliant job reflecting the other side of the artistic journey that we don't often see in cinema. And your two characters share so many open conversations about spaces where they go to silence that noise. And remember that it's important to just play in these mediums. For each of you, when you're looking to escape creatively, what is that place that you go to?
I don't know if I have a specific place, honestly.
But
Huh. I don't know. I guess
a place to escape creatively or a place to escape
Creatively.
creatively. Oh, it has to be outside, just nature, just outside, quiet,
hmm.
quiet.
Wow, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really have one. Yeah, as
I'm
long as I'm locked in a room by myself. As long as I think that's what I do. I just lock myself into a room and see what happens.
write a song.
I mean, a lot of the stuff Noah and I were doing was in that weird motel lobby. Like, I don't know, with the right pressure, I can kind of create anywhere.
I think for me, I think with my whole, I mean, yeah, being an actor in Hollywood and stuff, it is quite political, and you're taking so many things into account. It's not just your acting ability, you know. It's who do you
Yeah.
know, who do you get on with, do you know? So you're kind of semi-politician at times, and I feel like just going outside, going into woods or something, and it kind of puts things into perspective, and it's a good ego ruiner, I feel like. And so then when there's not so much ego, then I feel like then that's when the creativity can
Mm.
kind of just like come out without any roadblocks, or you try to rationalize things for different reasons. It's just like for the sake of it.
Yeah, beautifully said. Kiki, also at the end of the film when Dandelion is seemingly at her breaking point, it's her mother who reminds her how profound it is to find a passion in life. Who are the women in your own life who've held space for you in a similar way?
Definitely my mom, for sure. Just from the very beginning, when I said that I wanted to pursue the arts, and I was like 7 or so when I did that, she was supportive from the very beginning. She came back home with an audition packet for our local performing arts school in Cincinnati, and she encouraged me to audition. And when I said I wanted to spend thousands of dollars to study acting in college, she was, on board. So for sure, my mom has definitely had those types of conversations with me when I'm at my wit's end and just about ready to give up. It's usually my mom who can speak a positive word, who will pray for
Mm.
me and just lift up my spirits and remind me that this is what I'm here to do, and God always makes a way.
Shout out to moms. Thomas, final question for you. I also love in the film that it's not your character who inspires Dandelion on her own journey, but it's actually the reverse, where through Dandelion, Casey's able to remind you to dream again. Who are the people in your own life who've held space for you in a similar way? And also, have you seen Selena yet?
Just Selena.
No, you didn't. That's a joke. Bye, Thomas.
You need to
Selena
screen that the film
Gomez.
after.
The movie.
No, the movie.
Remember in Austin, I think it was a Screen Rant? Yeah, interview. And I said Selena's my favorite like music film, and you hadn't seen
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. No, I still haven't seen it.
Oh
Obviously, everyone's
God.
gonna No, I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. I'll add that to the list. Um, I mean, yeah, just my family, my friends. I mean, I'm from Scotland. I'm here right now. I don't know if you can hear my parents. They just let me do my thing. They're just fucking drilling something right now. Do you know what I mean? They're just cool. They've just always like been encouraging and held that space, and yeah, I'm very fortunate.